what is going down? We're live on YouTube, and this is the aftermath of Clubland vibes. So if you don't know how these streams work, normally I do like a YouTube stream where I'll like booking where I'm playing, and then after the booking I'll do like another stream where I'll sort of initially talk about how the booking went, and just sort of shedding that light, if you like, from like the DJ's perspective of like going to a gig, and like how it sort of happens, and like how the DJ sort of finds, and just genuinely talking and boosting, promoting the event, blah blah blah. So if you are living in a hole, if you're living in the dark, there was a night on at the old schoolhouse in Hull last night called Clubland Vibes, and it was a night that was representing the sort of genre brand Clubland, which you should all be aware of. It's like a massive dance music brand. If you don't know what it is, you have definitely been living under a rock. But they've been sort of like well known for playing nothing but bangers for years. They've got a TV channel. They do events up and down the country that are absolutely massive. They release CDs and albums, and I think they are the owners of the record label all around the world, but I wouldn't like to be completely certain about that. I know a lot of the Clubland sort of tunes were released on that label, and I'm sure the CDs were printed by that label as well, the Clubland CDs. So that is what Clubland is, but you should be familiar with it. I mean, who doesn't know it? I mean, a lot of it was like re-sung 80s songs, and re-sung old school 90s happy hardcore tunes as well. So, yeah, so it was taking place at the old school house last night. Kelly Lorena was singing live on stage, and what an absolutely amazing night. It was the first night for this in Hull. It was the first time that Clubland Vibes had obviously hit Hull, and it did really well. It was a really enjoyable night, and the vibe was absolutely banging. As soon as I arrived to the event, which was for when it opened, I think we got there about 10 to 10. About 10 to 5 to 10, so we were sort of just waiting outside to be let in. But the first DJ had already been let in, which was Jester, and he had the vibe already going in there. And I could hear from outside that there was pure Clubland anthems just being dropped, and then we went into the club, and he was absolutely smashing it. There was just, it was banger after banger. There was like Take Me to the Clouds Above and Pretty Green Eyes, all the sort of Clubland tunes that that you'd know and remember. And it was just you want a Clubland night, you come in and you hear that stuff, and you think, well, this really is a Clubland night. It was absolutely wicked. So the place starts filling up quite quickly, and it's getting quite busy. The vibe is just doing really well, and everyone's just here to support Healy, and the old schoolhouse who put this night on, which was just really nice to see. Then Kirk Lloyd steps up and steps in, drops some absolutely banging bounce. It was absolutely buzzing. I've got my eye on time, sort of checking the time because I'm on after, which was absolutely quite nerve wracking for me. Um, Obviously, I'm taken to the old schoolhouse, which is quite a biggish place. I mean, I have played in some bigger clubs, but it was still quite a nerve-wracking thing. The place was quite heaving. I wasn't doing a first set, so I wasn't just, sort of playing as people was coming in. I was kind of playing it sort of more nearer the prime, well, at the prime time, to be honest. So the place was heaving. Kelly was coming on half an hour during my set, so everybody's sort of arriving here ready for Kelly coming on. So the place is fairly heaving. So I go on about 10 to 5 to 12. I plug my stick in, and boom, my USB stick wouldn't load. None of the tunes would load, and I was absolutely mortified. I plugged it in, there was nothing, and What it was is there was a little crack on the USB stick, and if I'd have just given it a little bit of a wiggle, it would have loaded, as I found out later on during the night when I went on for my B2B set. But at the time, I was just about to go on. I was quite nerve wracking, and then boom, the stick just wouldn't load. And I think at that point, me head just blew, and I was just, I was all panicky. I was all like, oh shit, it's not loading. At the time, I was that panicky. I just couldn't think what to do. I took it back out, put it back in, wouldn't load. I didn't even think to try wiggling it. Luckily, the jester, he saved the day, and he had literally at the last minute before he came to the club, decided to put some bounce on his USB stick, and luckily he saved the day, so I could still play a set. It wasn't the set that I planned to play, and I'm gutted about that. It was, I'd planned that set for weeks, and I was really buzzed there for playing it. I'd edited loads of tunes and got it down to the T. Um, and at the time I was absolutely like, oh, I can't, it really put me on like a dampened downer, because I thought, like, do you know what I mean? And it wasn't even as if like I could have just nipped home and like got another stick. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's the like the that was like the mortifying thing. And like obviously, what once that hour's up, like you can't redo it. So like like I've missed that to play it, like with the tunes that I wanted to play. But Jester saved the day. He had some banging bounce, to be fair with you, and he had some absolutely amazing tunes. And I still played an absolute belter of a set, and it actually kind of worked out in my favour as well, because obviously from like the crowd and the people's point of view, the set that he's had planned, he turned up and he wasn't able to play it, but he just jumped on someone else's USB stick and just played their tunes, not knowing half of these remixes, which they were banging, and still just mixing them like really well and just doing a banging set in general. And people was like, you did a really good set, and fist bumping me, and it really boosted the confidence right back up, because I was feeling a little bit like I'd let everyone down. So all I can say to you, to anybody, as advice, is make sure you have backups. Like bring a backup USB stick, or just make sure that you are like more prepared, because to be honest, like I had my USB stick plugged into my PC about Wednesday, I think. I exported the playlist, analysed it to the stick, and I just put the stick in my bag ready for Friday. Never thought yesterday I'll plug it in, check that everything works, or I'll make up a backup stick just in case. Stuff like that never crossed my mind. I knew that was analysed. I knew it had the list on it, and I just put it in my bag ready to go. And sadly, because there was a little tiny crack, it was just temperamental, and you had to literally just give it a wiggle, and it would have loaded. And that was kind of gutting when I found that out, because if I'd have just at the time given it a little wiggle, my tunes would have loaded, and then if I hadn't touched the stick again, like the tunes would have stayed loaded, and I could have just done my set. But sadly, these things happen, and obviously I was still able to play and do a banging set, so not all was lost, if that makes sense. So it was still a really good night, and like I say, everybody smashed it. Kelly Lorena came on to sing, obviously, and then I took back off and finished off after Kelly had done her singing, which I have got to say now. I don't always like to be a negative person, but I wasn't the only one to say this during the course of the night. But Kelly Lorena did not sing as good as I thought she was going to sing, and there was quite a few people that said that she wasn't that good of a singer actually, which was quite surprising. When you think like the sort of like things that she's got under her belt and the tunes that she's had released, and she was a little bit different to what I thought she was going to be. Now, I have seen her sing before. I've seen her in Bridlington about 4, 5, maybe even nearly 6 years ago now. She come to a Clubland night in Brid, and she come with Andy Whitby, and she sang, and it was really good. And I don't remember her being that bad. back then. Um, but last night she just did not quite seem as good as people thought that she was going to sound, and she was very, I don't really know how to describe it, but she was very like more like, get your effing hands up, and and swearing, and even sometimes it was just almost like she wasn't putting full effort into singing the song, which was a little bit of a shame. But people still really enjoyed the night, which was the main thing. And I even had people saying to me that I was at, people preferred it when I was on as a telly, and I thought, flaming hell. But it was just a really fun night, and it was good vibes. It was Clubland vibes. So hopefully there's another night going forward. I'm not sure if there's going to be. I mean, it did well, so I don't see why there wouldn't be. And it was getting quite a good response of people saying like it was a good night. It was good for the first time, and there was people saying there that was at the night that they would love to see another one. So there might be another one. Whether I'd play it or not, I can't tell you at this moment in time. But it most certainly would be good if there was another night. Um, and obviously, if, for example, I do play another night, I would probably just say save that set and replay it again over the course of that event. Unless, of course, some new tunes obviously got released, and then I would maybe just change the setup ever so slightly. But nevertheless, I still got to play a really good set, which I was pleased about in the end. At first, I was a little bit disappointed out. I was a little bit bad mood, a bit tempered. Like, no, no, this is not, because I was putting a first tune on, it was banging. Lee was sort of like thumbs up and smiling. And I'm like, no, don't smile. It's all gone pear shaped. No, this is not how I wanted it to go. But then in the end, I just thought, well, do you know what? I've been saved. I've been blessed to still be able to do a set. They're enjoying the tunes, so I'm going to enjoy myself. And then I picked myself back up and back in my shell to dancing around. But a little crack in the USB stick, was just a mortifying thing. But I guess also as another lesson, don't buy plastic USB sticks as such, because these little red SanDisk ones, they're actually terrible for like easily like cracking and getting stuck, and apparently it's not even that dear to get like some sort of like metal casing USB sticks that you can actually get. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, why don't I just pick up a couple of them? And then you've always got backups, because the thing with me at home is I've got about 4 5 different sticks, but they, like with my decks, you don't have to analyze tunes to play them on my decks. So I've got like my sticks that I just plug into my decks at home, and I mix my tunes that way. So when it comes to like doing gigs, I don't really want to like sort of like analyze them USB sticks, because they're the ones that I use at home. And if I analyze them, it's gonna ruin all the orders of my files, and the way I have it set up for home. So I do normally have like one stick that is just a purely one for analyzing and taking to bookings and gigs. But obviously now, as a lesson learned, always have a spare one with you, always have a backup one with you, and then you can just obviously carry on. Or if you've got an issue where one stick doesn't load, at least you can try another one, with the same set on, and then you can just literally have a go, and all's not lost. But yeah, but other than that, like I say, it was a really really good night. It was just full of good vibes, and I met some amazing new people. I even got called DJ Cunt at one point, but it was just a joke. It wasn't a genuine. It was just somebody was having a laugh with outside, and then once we got talking a little bit more, she actually re changed my name to DJ Excellent, and I thought, you know what, I'll take DJ Excellent then. But no, it was again, it was just a really good vibe. It was different, like Hull doesn't normally see these kind of nights. It's usually like house music or a bit of trance, and then obviously you get like your stomping, which is more like your hard trance, and representing your old destruction days is what I like to sort of class them events as. They sort of try to recreate the old destruction days with the Nats and the JD Walker and them kind of nights, which are there's a lot of nights that kind of do that, where they book them MCs, and it's all about that sort of like hard trance, a bit of reverse bass kind of thing going on. So it was nice to see something different. Not that there's anything, I love stomping. I've played for many a stompings now, and they're always fun to play. I'm playing one in May. Can't wait to play it. I'll definitely be prepared USB stick wise, which will be good. That'll be good, hopefully. No hiccups. I'll be definitely getting some better USB sticks by then. And I don't even know what I'm gonna play yet. I haven't decided. I think I said it in another stream earlier this week or last week, but I was thinking about maybe going with some like hard house classics, maybe into a bit of hard bounce. I'm not sure. When I do like the normal just bounce and donk, it didn't go down too well last time. Like they wanted it a little bit more sort of like less cheesy. But I'm thinking that I might just go with with some sort of like some banging sort of hard house maybe. Or to be fair, I did start putting a third birthday set together, and then I had a record box issue where I didn't end up sadly putting the set together because there was some issues. So possibly maybe I might go back to that set, because I've actually because what I do is I make a setup on record box, and then I'll make a folder which copies the same set, and then what I do is I put it onto my sticks that work for my decks, and then when I'm at home I can practice and go through the sets. So originally at the time I was putting this set together, and I got it to a point where I was happy with it, and I just wanted to see like how long the set was going to be, wanted to start going over it. So I obviously did my trick, put it on my sticks, and then my record box had the crashing issue, or I think what it was is I moved a load of folders um, around, just cleared my PC up, and it actually got rid of loads of tunes out of record box because I'd moved the location source. So sadly, I just wiped record box and started to put tunes back in. So I actually lost the set, but because I've got the folder on my USB for my decks over there, it's still got the folder on it from when I was practicing. So the only issue is I can't remember the order of what the tunes were, but at least I could like start sort of putting some of the tunes back together and seeing what sounds good, and have a little go again. And maybe that might be the set that I'll use for stomping. Who knows? But all in all, like I say, we will sort something. And like I say, I'll definitely be prepared on the USB front, because although I still played a banging set last night, like I still feel gutted now, and I still feel like it didn't go as well as I wanted it to go, even though I still smashed it. Because when you plan something like, and it just plans so well, and you think you've got it all worked out, and you think you're all set and it's all planned and you're all ready for it, and you've got all the tunes ready that you want, and you're picturing in your head when you drop that first tune in and people are going to buzz off of it, and then obviously like you just have an error. But I won't have been the first DJ to have that issue, and I most certainly will not be the last. And once again, massive respect to the jester for bailing me out with his stick. It was only lucky that at the last minute he loaded some bounce onto his stick. If he hadn't loaded his bounce, I would have been screwed, because he wouldn't have been able to lend me a stick. I would have probably just put Kirk's stick in, but you know, at the end of the day, he still bailed me out. He still saved the day, and I still was able to play a good set, which was the main thing for me. And again, it was just a really fun, enjoyable night. And it's these kind of fun, enjoyable nights that I do like to be a part of. I do like to be involved in these good, positive nights. And I just say roll on the good times, because there's more nights I'm going to be involved in, in town and out of town. And it's a buzz to be a part of it all at the moment, and stuff like that. So, what can I say? What can I say other than boom, roll on the good times? So, next up for me, I think, is actually Stomping itself. I think that is the next booking for me. That I can remember. I don't think I've got one before now. I think that is it now, till the 21st of May. So just over a month away. So I've got like a month of not really any gigs. I mean, I'm doing a leaving party next week, but it's not really a gig as such. It's just something to do with my appointments. One of the teachers, if you like, or one of the work coaches, they're just basically leaving, going on to another job. So we've decided that me and the other teacher, the other work coach, we've all decided that we was just going to do a little something on the final day to say goodbye, because on Wednesday is kind of like the last day, so we'll go in, but it'll be the last day, like we'll go in where she will be here, as part of our work coach, and then after that she'll have left us. So we decided that we was going to do a little something, and I said, look, I'll bring me equipment down, and just like when I did the awards evening a couple of weeks back, and I just said, look, we'll spin a few tunes, and we'll just have a little bit of a celebration to say goodbye. She's been a big part of Goodwin, even before I was there, and now she's moving on to go into another job role that is going to be even bigger than the one that she's in now. So it should be good, like I say. But other than that, I don't think I've got any more bookings that I can remember. I know I've got a couple in May, obviously Stomping. Then the following weekend it's Aunt X and Friends in Leicester, which I've got what I'm doing for that yet, because I don't think, that I'm aware of, I think the layman's somewhere else again. So I'm going to have to decide whether to bite the bullet and hotel it, which I think that might be a good little option. And to be honest, I do quite fancy it, because just recently, well, I mean, like even yesterday, Kurt come down for the Clubland vibes, and he come to mine, and we had a little warm up, and we went back to his hotel. It was a nice little doody place, and I thought, you know what, like I do kind of fancy that sort of just that sort of stopping in a hotel and then going down for your breakfast the next day. Like I don't know why. I just for some reason I just thought like yeah I'd enjoy that. So it might be the case of just possibly just stopping, so just biting the bullet and stopping somewhere as like a one off, because I never do it. Like I mean I last did it in January, but that was only because it was helping me bail a mate out. And I didn't have to pay anything towards doing it, which was like pretty, it was a cool thing. But other than that, like because I normally either just go with a layman, or it's like somewhere within like walking distance, like in my town. I don't normally need to stop in hotels, etc. But we'll just see how it goes. We'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to the Aunt X and Friends. It's going to hopefully be a good vibe. I don't, it should hopefully be a good little night. And then I know in June I've got a couple of things planned in June in Hull as well. Some little local things. So I've got a birthday party that I'm DJing at. It's not like one that I do with Lee. It's not like the one I did last week. It's an actual event, like someone's putting a rave on. technically for the birthday. Um, I think at a football club, they're putting a little rave on, so it's going to be nothing massive, but it's just to celebrate a birthday. And then they're putting like a little outdoor festival thing on at the same place. There's a little outdoor festival thing that's going to take place at the same venue. Like I believe it's going to be like an outdoor thing, like a summer thing. And I'm also going to play that one as well. So that should be quite fun to do. And I've got something in July as well, so that's going to be good. Again, it's another birthday party actually, but it's a proper rave. This one in July is an actual proper rave at a proper nightclub. There's going to be a flyer coming out very soon, and there's going to be quite a few people involved. And it's going to be quite a good little booking. And then we've only sort of got like August, where I think August is free for me at the moment, and then September is the Great British Rave Off. Obviously, there'll be some other things happening. June, I think there's going to be another Bounce to Your Drop, but like I say, whether I play that one or not, I'm not certain. I'll find out. Whether I will or not. If I do, then obviously I'll be sure to let you know. But I'll find out nearer the time. We just see how things go really, and stuff like that. But yeah, so I thought no messing about today. Let's just get the Clubland vibes aftermath done. I was awake. I had a bit of time to kill. I thought, why not promound the sort of doing the stream. Like, I had time to do it now. I knew what I wanted to say. It was a banging night. There was nothing bad to say about the night. Obviously, I just had a little issue myself that just kind of annoyed me a little bit. But we got through it, which was the main thing. And there's good people out there. Always remember, among the good people out there. And if it wasn't for the jester, like I say, having his stick, I really would have been in the dog shit. And it's just nice to know that there's times like that where you're in a predicament. Like, because I know if it happened to somebody else, like, I would offer to lend them my stick, so they could play a set. And I'm just glad that people think like I do sometimes. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's loads of people that would do that, but like, that's something I would do. So it's nice to know that somebody else that would also do the same thing, and that they've actually done it for you. And I know in a heartbeat I'd do it for them, but he's probably never going to run into that issue, because he always brings like backup sticks. But it was just it was so nice that he offered for me to use his stick. He could have said, like, you're not playing my tunes, or I've got stuff on there that that is exclusive, which sometimes it's fair enough and understandable. But it all turned out to be gravy in the end, you know. Big Bisto gravy, and it was a shed load of fun. I played loads of bangers, so like Touch Me in the Morning, Love Shy, some wicked piano tunes. I mean, like, there was some tunes on there, and I'm thinking, like, I want these myself. Like, where can I get some of these? Now, the Love Shy tune, I've actually heard that one before. It's a banging tune. It's an Andy Whitby remix. Um, but the Touch Me in the Morning, I hadn't heard that remix. There was a remix of 40 Miles and Where Love Lives, and they were belting. I've never heard them before. They were banging tunes, and I'm thinking, where can I get some of these from, man? And then there was a really good remix of Bits and Pieces, and I thought, ooh, yeah, nice little belting remix of Bits and Pieces. And there was loads. There was just some really good tunes actually. Some of I was looking for a bit more Clublandy. If I'm honest, like, if I could have played my set, obviously that would have been like the main key thing. But like, it was a good set, and I enjoyed it. Like, I was buzzing off some of the drops, and it really got the club going, which was a good thing. So I was just buzzed in general. I was just absolutely buzzed, really was. But yeah, so that was Clubland vibes. So all I can say is keep your eyes peeled in case there's another one. Again, this is it now. They've got my support. Whether I play, whether I don't play. If I don't play and I'm free on the night, I will be down there to show my face, because when there's a good thing going, and I said this with Bounce to Your Drop, they've got a good thing going, and they're creating a really good memorable nights that are enjoyable, and these are the sort of nights that in years to come, when I'm whether I'm telling my son about when I used to DJ, or my daughter when I used to DJ, or whether I'm just reminiscing with old friends, it's going to be these kind of nights that I'm going to remember. I'm going to be like, yeah, remember when there was a Clubland night in Hull, little local one, or some we had hanging nights there. Um, or remember when there was a Bounce to Your Drop in Scunthorpe, or remember that Bounce to Your Drop in Scunthorpe, played some of them, attended some of them, and there was always banging. And that's what it's all about, that these are the nights that I'm going to remember in years to come. And, they've got my support because they're doing a good thing. They're giving some banging nights to the scene, to the crowd. They're putting belting lineups out, and they're just going all out to make sure that people have a good night. They're helping the local talent push through as well. I mean, like Bounce to Your Drop, they put me on, which gave me a really big boost, playing with some bigger names, and playing in a bigger club, playing to more people than, I had sort of initially, played to before. And then obviously, this again tonight, yeah, last night, and my first time playing at the old schoolhouse, which, I've gone to many a raves there over the past sort of 5 to 6 years, and to finally play it and go up in that sort of DJ booth, and that was a good thing for me. It was definitely one to top off the bucket list, if you like. And yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. So like I say, they've got my support now, so let's just hope that there is another night like this, because it really did not do too bad at all. And it was really good to see, and stuff like that. And it opens your eyes as well to supporters and haters, which is always a good thing. So yeah, so I think that's gonna really do it for the stream. To be honest, I've let this good old fashioned brew go sort of lukewarm. But yeah, so today, um, I'm not really sure what today's plans are. We was supposed to be going to Leicester, believe it or not. There was supposed to be an hardcore night on. Lee was doing the pictures, but for some reason the night got cancelled. Never went ahead. But the weird thing is there was no announcement of like a cancellation. Like everything just sort of went quiet. DNA was supposed to have the room too, and I was inquiring like whether they, who was going to play that room too, because I wasn't sure if someone like me would have maybe played it, because I would have gone, because I would have already been going with Lee, you see, so it wouldn't have made too much of a difference just to to bung a USB stick with me and play a set. But for some reason the night just never was never gonna happen. It just got cancelled apparently. All I know is the layman is picking me up about 3 o'clock. I think I might be probably going into radio if anything, because I think he's doing his radio show today. But I'm not sure if we're anywhere tonight. I know we're in Sheffield tomorrow for Smashed. Andy Whitby, Nixie Devise. Looking forward to that. It's going to be a belting night. Ben Jamming as well. He's going to be there in full swing, and looking forward to meeting the Ben Jamming. I've got a lot of tunes of his, and they're belting. So that's where I'm going to be road tripping with the layman. But like I say, I couldn't tell you where we are tonight. You know, we might not even be anywhere with us going somewhere tomorrow. But it is the Easter weekend. Lehman does get in demand for photographs and you know you know people want him down at their events and it's just absolutely you know amazing. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's you know that he's doing so well, and you know big love to him. You know the guy has helped me so much, and you know he's really been there. As a good mate as well, and you know we've sort of really gone on like a really good music path together because it's like we are sort of in some sense we're doing our own separate thing. Like you know he's sort of photographing, photographing, does a bit of hosting, and then I'm like DJing. But it's almost like we're still doing it together because you know if I'm playing, 9 times out of 10 he comes and supports me playing, and he takes a few pictures of me, and he you know he gets me to venues and gigs. And then if he's photographing, you know I go with him to photograph. Sometimes I just help him and take a few pictures if you know if he wants to be in the pictures. If he's got like quite a long drive, if he's going somewhere far, I go with him. So obviously there's someone to sort of keep him awake on the road coming back because you know sometimes we are going quite far and you know we end up driving it back and sometimes it does get quite late when we're driving it back and you know obviously it is quite tiring. You drive all the way there, you're walking about all night, you're taking pictures, you know, loud booming music, you're bound to get tired, and then you've got that sometimes 2 3 hour drive back home. You know, and I know you probably sat there at the screen like, would you just book a damn hotel and drive the next day? But you know, like hotels sometimes just get too dear. And then when you think like you know early hours of the morning, you know you get your foot on the accelerator and you know you get on that motorway, you'll be home before you know it. And you know, but it does, you know, it obviously does get tiring. So you know, even though we're riding these separate paths, it's like we're also riding them together. We're supporting each other, and like I say, he's really helped me and boost me through the music scene, and you know it's just absolutely amazing. So you know, big ups to him. He got me involved on the radio about going on to the training, which is a really good thing, and there'll be radio updates coming very soon. I'm putting a show together as we speak, actually, but there'll be more info to reveal very soon regarding that. And as I say, I think I'm going in today, but that might only just be to sit in on Lee's show, but I'm not certain what's happening because I know he didn't get into radio this week to put his show together, so I don't know if he's got like a backup one that he can use, or you know, I'm not exactly fully sure. But all I know is he's gonna come for me around 3 o'clock, so that's that's all I'm aware of at the moment. So but yeah, so I think that's gonna do it for the stream. So make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll keep you updated on gigs, etc. But until now, take it easy. Good night, God bless, and fuck off. No, I'm not. I'm only joking. But absolutely massive love to everybody supporting right now, and we'll see you all again soon. Let me try and stop this thing.